What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Celtics Daily Channel. Me, Mike Zakarian. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. We got a fun one for you today. Tatum just won't stop stopping. You know, he's out there. We got a GM survey. We got some more LeBron stuff. And then, of course, we're going to get into your comments. We got another Celtics preseason game tonight, so we'll be excited to react to that over the weekend. We got two preseason games. We got one tonight, one on Sunday. So we're going to come back Monday refreshed from actually Monday's still part of the weekend, depending on where you are. We get some long weekend energy coming at you. Fall is falling. It's cold out here on the East Coast again, and I'm ready for it. I'm ready for basketball. I'm loving all these updates, and I'm loving you guys for being here. I appreciate everybody tuning in throughout the week as we continue to grow the channel, which is a beautiful segue and a reminder to like the stream or the show, the video, subscribe to the channel. There's even hype buttons now. Hit the hype. I don't know what it does. I don't know what it means, but it's hype. So get involved in that. And just a reminder, too, as we get closer to 3K subs, we're going to be giving away Boston Celtics tickets. And I'll just be honest. I'll be transparent. That's going to happen a couple of times this season. Just by hanging out with us, you're going to have opportunities at getting some Celtics tickets because we got some fun connects, baby. We get some fun connects. But let's get into the news of the day. Jason Tatum, man. This guy's a monster. This guy's a monster. Happy Halloween. He was out there. Video came out yesterday, and it shows him just underneath the rim, basically doing a standing broad jump. Shout out gym class. A standing broad jump and throwing it down. And then, right, I don't know if you, because I'm sure you've all seen it. It went everywhere. I'm sure you've all seen it. But the difference is right after, if you're listening to the audio, he says, I did that like a month ago. A month ago. So for a month, my guy's been dunking. I cannot believe what we're witnessing here with this comeback that we're seeing. And we haven't had tons of players tear Achilles. I know it feels like a lot right now, just because last year alone, right, it was like Damian Lillard and Tyrese Halliburton along with Tatum in the postseason. And then at the beginning of the season last year, you saw it happen to Isaiah Jackson and James Wiseman, both big guys on the Indiana Pacers. I believe that's what DeJounte Murray was dealing with too, I think. But when we've seen these injuries, it's a year plus till you're back in action. And for him, I mean, this is like 5 months, right? This is just 5 months, and he's already out there. And it both excites me and makes me concerned. Our guy Weisberg, who we've referenced here on the show before, he reached out to me yesterday because he's out there tweeting at doctors on the internet. He said he asked Dr. Pandya, who is the director of sports medicine at Benioff Children's Hospital in San Francisco, which, now that he's saying that, I don't know why. Well, it is director at sports medicine, but at a children's hospital. But okay, cool. Also, Benioff makes me think of Game of Thrones. But anyways, so the doctor quoted the video. He tweeted the video. And again, this is a video of Jason Tatum dunking 150 days since the Achilles tear. He said, a double leg jump at this point after an Achilles repair, I don't know why I said it like that, after an Achilles repair is within most established current rehab protocols. Glad to see him recovering well. So doctors out there saying hey, let's chill. It's good that he's recovering well, but this isn't too nuts. So Weisberg said, Doc, he called him Doc, given your experience, would you be surprised if he played this year? And the doctor said, I would not be surprised. Now, this doctor doesn't work with Tatum, so we don't want to have to read into it too much. But what I will say is that Tatum himself came out and said, I've informed the Boston Celtics that I plan on playing basketball this season. I'm just stunned by it, man. I really am. And I guess we shouldn't be surprised that he wants to play, right? That part's not surprising. Of course he wants to play basketball. I think every player that gets hurt, the first thing they're thinking about is hey, I want to get back onto the court. What I think is surprising is how vocal he's being both within the organization, but also just it's being reported on. I think I try to put myself in his shoes, which I can't because I'm 5'7" and I have small feet. But I think I would like to keep expectations low, right? I just don't want to get the word out, shout out The Wire, but get the word out that, hey, we're going to be back up and running. And this is such a long process because even if that is true, it's October 10th right now. most likely the earliest he'd be back is like still 3 months from now, right? And there's so much that could happen. There's so many setbacks. Knock on wood. I'm not trying to talk those into existence, but to put the word out, like, hey, I'm planning on playing, is kind of nuts. And I'll give you the quote here. This was per Shams Charania from ESPN on the Pat McAfee show. Said Jason Tatum has informed the Celtics he wants to play this season. I just and I think even the biggest detractors, and I'll throw myself in that camp. I thought you guys were nutso in the chat early on, being like, oh, he's going to be back. He's going to be back. He got the surgery so early. And I was like, I don't care. We haven't seen this before. I still have some hesitation, and I saw John Corrales. I think, is that the correct pronunciation of that last name? I apologize if it's not, sir. He had a good pushback on what I said, anyways, because my take has always been, listen, if he's ready to go in March, but the Celtics are out of contention, let's maybe pump the brakes, right? Let's get a better draft pick. Let's have him have a full off season, be ready to go. And I actually want to quote him directly, because what we could learn is that wasn't him that said it. And now I'm nervous that's not who it was at all, because, Corrales, excuse me. Let me get the exact tweet here, the quote, because it allowed me to come back and say, the person who's quote tweeting deleted their tweet, but he goes, the Celtics record is the last thing that should be part of the decision to clear Tatum. If he's ready and cleared, he should play. He should knock off all the rust now, figure out what he needs to work on post-injury, and go into the summer knowing who he is as a player. And then Stooley Greeny, of Barstool, says, counterpoint, if by the time he's cleared they are on the play-in bubble, it might make more sense to hold him out. It's their one opportunity to potentially arm Brad with an extremely valuable asset, whether it's to try to keep the pick or flip the pick for an NBA player ready over the summer. And then John responded to this saying, still think at that point it doesn't matter much. He's not going to play 40 minutes. He's not going to be himself right away. So I guess the case for this, right, is to just say, hey, listen, this isn't to bring Tatum back for this big playoff push, but let's ease him in. 20 minutes a game, 24 minutes a game, whatever. I kind of was in the other camp where I was like, I don't want to bring him back if he's not full strength, if he's not playing 30-plus minutes. Because to me, that means we're not 100% sure he's ready to go. And I don't want him on the court if he's not 100% ready to go. It's just not worth it for his future, for the Celtics' future, all of those things. So I guess once again, I turn it back over to you guys. And it's what do you guys think? What are you looking for here? I think I'm still on the camp of if we are, 10 games under 500 and are flirting with the Bulls for a 9-10 seed, I don't think we need to do it. Let these young guys get their play-in or playoff licks in, get their rep in, experience, and then we can decide what we need to do in the offseason. But listen, if the doctors clear him and he's 100% ready to go, then rip the Band-Aid off, both metaphorical and literal, and let him cook. Let him cook if he's 100% ready to go. If he is, I'm just fascinated by the whole thing. It's honestly made me like him even more. I've always been a Tatum fan and a Tatum believer. I think he gets such an unfair rap, mainly because he's not as cool on socials or whatever. He's not maybe as marketable as some of these other stars, but what he has done for this organization since he has arrived, he has done nothing but win games, now a title. He's just been awesome. And for him to suffer a catastrophic injury while, performing at the highest of levels, that game, even though the Celtics were going to lose that game and go down 3-1, he played his ass off in that game. And he slowed down a little bit in the second half, but he was just incredible, right? Just single-handedly keeping this team in there. To see him go down in the manner that he did, I think there was a lot of guys, and not to compare it to Damian Lillard, they're different bodies, different ages, they've had different recoveries, right? But Dame pretty comfortably is I got to get my body right, I'll see you next year. And Tatum from day one has just been built different. I'm going to be out there as soon as I can. It's been pretty inspiring and pretty just jaw-dropping to watch. I'm curious how the Celtics front office feels about him just saying all this shit. Are they hey, man, can you just tell us? Sure, but you don't have to tell Shams. You don't have to tell Shams. But the fact that he's indicated to the organization, your boy is back this season, Well, I don't know. It makes the first half of the season that much more spicy for me because if the Celtics are able to compete at a pretty good level and then all of a sudden, glass breaks, stone cold entrance music, or John Cena, like Tatum comes out, right? Um, it's just fun. It's fun to think about. This is stuff we can do right now because the season hasn't started and it's October. Pie in the sky, baby. That's where our brain's at. But anyways, curious what your thoughts are on Tatum. Let me know. Let's get to the GM survey. The survey that comes out every single year. What's the guy's name who does it for the NBA.com? John Schumann does an NBA survey. Just wanted to throw a couple of Celtics things that I saw out there. For the predictions here, which team will win the 2026 NBA Finals? The Oklahoma City Thunder. 80% of these anonymous GMs picked the OKC Thunder. Just to put that into comparison, last season, the Celtics had an 83%. That there were like 83% of the GMs thought the Celtics were going to take it down. They also broke down how they thought the Eastern Conference was going to rank, and this is what they had. Cleveland with the 1 seed, Knicks with the 2, Magic with the 3, Hawks with the 4, Detroit with the 5. Then it goes Milwaukee, Philadelphia, and then Boston all the way down at 8. So not a lot of love for the Beantown boys. Their rankings for the MVP, we didn't have any Celtics sniff it. They had Jokic up there, Luka, SGA, and Wemby. Also receiving votes for Giannis, Ant-Man, and Spida Mitchell. But overwhelmingly, 67% believe it's going to be the Joker. They were saying if you were starting any franchise today, who would you pick? Those top 3 were Wemby, SGA, and Jokic. No surprises there. Let me see. They were calling for a breakout season. Most people picked Amen Thompson, Brandon Miller, his brother Asar Thompson. But this is what I thought was kind of tough. They said, who's the best small forward in the league? Best small forward in the league right now. They have Luka listed as number 1. Also, guys, why is it that general managers still list Luka as a small forward when the rest of the gosh darn fans, league, anybody that covers the league knows Luka is a point guard? Why are we listing him as a small forward? Just because he's tall? Guys, use your brain. You've got one of 30 jobs in the world as a general manager of an NBA team. Can you just use your brain for a second? But if you take Luka out of it, Tatum would be the top small forward in the NBA, even though Tatum plays the power forward. Also receiving votes, Jaylen Brown received some votes, but it went Luka, which is dumb, then Tatum, KD, and then LeBron and Kawhi were both tied. That's really it for Celtics love here. They really loved what Atlanta did in the offseason. Let me just see if there was anything Celtics related. I just thought the most interesting thing was putting them all the way down 8th behind Milwaukee. They were saying, what was the most surprising move of the offseason? Then the Celtics got mentioned here because they said Milwaukee waiving and stretching Dame was 1. Miles Turner to Milwaukee was 2. The Atlanta draft trade, remember where Atlanta drafted traded their draft pick to the Pelicans and where the Pelicans took Derek Queen, but then gave Atlanta an unprotected first-round pick next year, which is crazy. But the third thing, tied for third with the Atlanta-New Orleans one, is Celtics breaking up their core, which again, I feel like that writing was on the wall, They weren't going to be able to pay everybody, especially when Tatum got hurt. So what are you talking about? But it makes me nervous about these GMs. They think Cooper Flagg's going to win the Rookie of the Year. I think that's it. I don't think we have any other Celtics stuff, but I thought that was interesting. Oh, one more. Oh, no. That was it. They have, we get some Joe Mazzulla. Which head coach is the best manager, motivator of people? They have Spoelstra 1, Ime Udoka 2, and then Kerr and Joey Maz tied for third. I thought that was nice. For our guy Mazzulla getting a little bit of love. And let me just do a quick Control F, make sure I didn't miss anything else here. Because I do. I want to give Boston love where we have it, especially if it's our guy like Mazzulla. Let's see. No, that was really it. Though. Let's get to LeBron because LeBron has some old person stuff. And as somebody who was 40, I could see myself in it, So LeBron, after making fun of him for a couple of days about his Hennessy ad, this is what we learned yesterday. He's going to miss probably the first 3 to 4 weeks of the regular season because his sciatica's acting up. And as somebody who's, you just occasionally learn something hurts, and you're like, did I just sleep wrong? Or is something going to affect me for the rest of my life? right? This is the most 40-year-old shit I've ever seen is that LeBron's dealing with the sciatica. And it's good to know he's human because, again, when he turned 40 and was playing a National Basketball Association game, and I turned 40, and I was like, should I go to bed at like 8 now? It's good to see myself in the stars, but I hope he heals fast. I'm making fun of it, but I'm not trying to see LeBron hurt. I think it's incredible what he's doing, even though I think his commercials suck. Yeah, just sciatica. Welcome to 40, baby. This is 40. This is 40. Let's wrap there. Well, we'll get into your comments, of course, but for the planned part of the show, that's going to do it. Hit the subscribe. Let's get into some of your comments from yesterday. People were making fun of me because I made the nose candy joke yesterday. I'm sorry, guys. I was deep in my improv bag yesterday, okay? I was tired. I was up late the night before playing old man hoops, so sometimes that happens. John Papalo, 6795, says, hey, Baylor Shireman shot 23% in the opening preseason game, so let's not gloss over the fact that for some reason he isn't efficient. Yeah, I mean, that's what I was saying too. I mean, I think I mentioned that, right? That he did not shoot the ball at all. Like it was like 3 for 12 or something bad. Something bad. Yeah, that is going to be a concern. I mean, like Shireman, again, I was informed because I wasn't as locked in as I thought about how old Baylor Shireman already is, like 25 heading into year 2. That really caps like some of the upside that we're going to get. But if Shireman's not able to knock down jumpers, he's not going to be out there because we've already talked about it. Like the young wings that are around, like Josh Minot, who is playing and like hyper level of defense is just, again, just insane energy that he brings out there. With Minot running around, Jordan Walsh stepping up a little bit, and then whatever we get out of Hugo Gonzalez, like they're not all going to play major minutes, right? That rotation has got to whittle down as we get into the season a little bit. Not that he's not going to play at all, but you know, they gotta rank that spot. So that is, I don't know, something to pay attention to. Shireman, I'm not gonna overreact to one game, right? It's the first time they've gotten on the floor and not do track because they've been doing track in practice. So we'll see when we come back on Monday or Monday. Yeah, we'll see what it looks like. Vicky and a couple other people were saying they really like what they saw out of Luka Garza. Yeah, I mean, like, listen, there was never a concern about what Luka was going to do on the offensive end. Some good screen setting. I know that got shouted out in the chat as well. We got to see, like, what can he do on the defensive end, you know? He's going to fill it up. Like, from a fantasy perspective, you're like, whoa, he got a double-double in 16 minutes. Let's go, brother. But that looks a little different when he's getting cooked on defense. So if he's able to hold up defensively, yeah, for sure that's going to unlock some stuff. And yeah, it was Allen, our guy Allen Hoover said, I love that Scalabrini said Garza is a mix between Horford and Cornette. Definitely the best screen setter on the team. Yeah, I mean, that's like comparing me to tall people. Like, yeah, maybe we have the same color hair, but, you know, one of us can reach the top shelf. Let's see. NBA update, which was pretty excited about Hugo's performance. Yeah, Hugo looked great. And then the real Dawn Swag says they looked good. If they can get X into shape, Xavier Tillman, he runs like old Luka, mad slow, but still feels like they were missing a piece not having Tatum. Yeah, I mean, without Tatum, obviously that's a change of pace. But according to Tatum, he's going to be back soon, so who knows? Appreciate everybody tuning in today. Hit the subscribe on the way out. I hope you guys have a great long weekend. Enjoy. We got who are the Patriots playing? The Saints. We got Drake May taking on New Orleans. We've got 2 preseason games, and the Yankees are out of the postseason. You just love to see it. Enjoy the weekend. We'll see you guys on Monday. That's right. We're working on the long weekend. We out.